quit. If you ever miss a WFG convention, guys, I am still high off of WFG convention, right? So, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you guys are watching us live from. Shout out to you guys on Facebook and everyone that's going to be watching this on replay. So I played 3 speakers that was at our National Financial Convention that just ended last week. We had 2 pack arena, the MGM Grand, and T-Mobile, right? T-Mobile, like the phone T-Mobile. About 40,000 agents all over the country, in fact the world, because we had people from our parent company in the Netherlands, we had people from Canada, we had people from everywhere. So I played 3 speakers, and I'm going to open it up to you guys to tell me what are some takeaways or something that stood out from each one of those speakers. So go ahead, unmute the mic, and tell me one thing that stood out from one of the speakers. And I'm just going to start off first, because I'm like super over everything. So the first person that spoke is Lillian Apano. She is she was, I don't even think she's still practicing nursing. Like, who cares about nursing anymore, right? Lillian Apano was a nurse. She was an RN nurse. And of course, someone introduced her to WFG, right? And she was the first woman the first person, period, in WFG that made her first $1 million in 2 years. No one has ever done this. And of course, she is black, which you know is even harder to achieve. So she is amazing. The second person that spoke is Pastor Chinji. I remember speaking with him about 2 years ago on text, because I reached out to him to ask him, how is it that you share the message with your congregation? And he said, Odetta, like, it's not the church people, it's everybody, right? So one of the things that stood out to me that he said is when he joined WFG, the first thing he did, and a lot of people make this mistake. I always say you cannot sell shoes walking barefoot. You cannot work at BMW and driving a Toyota car. So if you are WFG, you need to wear WFG, you need to have WFG, and what did Pastor Chinji did? Him and his entire family all took out $1 million policy. And let me tell you guys, it's not $1 million term. It's not $1 million term, okay? That's going to expire in 30 years. It is not $1 million term. So that's the first thing he did. Him and his wife and his 3 adult girls, they all took out $1 million IUL. Yes, honey, IUL, cash value. We want that cash, okay? The second thing he did, his goal, obviously, was becoming a cash millionaire. Now, there's a lot of term of millionaire floating around, right? But he specifically mentioned the 2 types. He said asset worth millionaire, estate worth millionaire, his exact word, estate worth millionaire, and then cash millionaire. 2 completely different stuff, which means he is a multi-millionaire because he got more than 1 million, right? And then the third person that just spoke, I forgot his name. Oh my God, I forgot his name. What's his name? I forgot. Let me see if I can find the video. Oh, Emmanuel Tito. So Emmanuel Tito, like all of these, the one thing that all of them have in common, they're all from Africa. So shout out to the African community because they are ripping and running, right? They are ripping and running. So I'm going to turn it over to you guys. What is one thing that stood out from one of those speakers? Go ahead.
I had a hard time really understanding when what it was they were saying. I didn't hear one word. I had a hard time.
What? Oh
That's just me, though.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just me. I didn't hear one word. I mean, I tried, but I couldn't figure out what they were saying.
Is it because of the accent?
It could be, yeah.
Or the
I don't
sound?
know if the audio itself. I mean, they were kind of in and out. They were in and out.
It was in and out. Okay. Did anyone else got anything? Nobody else got anything from the video?
The sound was kind of muffled. I agree with what Richard said. For me,
So
I
you
wasn't hearing it as clear as I heard it yesterday.
Okay.
I couldn't really honestly listen. I mean, listen, I'm sorry. I couldn't get it like how I got something yesterday. If somehow you could play it over again tomorrow
Okay.
and it's clearer, then I can really honestly answer,
Gotcha. All right. Anyone else? All right. So we're going to do things a little different tonight. The ball is going to be in you guys' court, right? Because I am a professor, right? And it's not always lecture. It's two ways. So I have up here our company presentation, which I've been doing for the last God knows how long. And I'm going to quiz you guys tonight. Yes, I'm going to quiz you guys tonight, right? So who is Aegon? Who is Aegon?
Our parent company
And
in the Netherlands.
Awesome. Aegon is our parent company. They're based in the Netherlands. Because, guys, you guys are going to be presenting this in a couple of days, honey. Not Athleticking.com, honey. So this is your time to learn, honey. Okay? Aegon is our parent company. They've been around since God knows how long, about 200 years old, right? And are they a poor company? Are they a rich company? Are they a wealthy company? Like, what kind of company is it when it comes to their, like, money and net worth? Like, how are they? Are they small? Are they big? Are they medium-sized? What are they?
Voted too big to fail.
There you go. Karen is winning tonight. They're voted too big to fail. Aegon is one of 9 companies listed too big to fail. Okay? Too big to fail. Too big to fail. Don't play with us, right? Now, they're one of 9 companies listed too big to fail. And what industry are they dominated in?
The insurance and investment industry.
Okay, somebody has like backed you up. If you're not gonna speak, just mute your line.
Keeps speaking out. Protect our kids from gun violence.
Let's see if I can find that. Okay. Alright, so
I believe pensions, too. Pensions.
what are the 2 industries that they are dominated in? 2 industries. What are the 2 industries they're dominated in?
Insurance and investments.
Insurance is one. What's the other one? Insurance and pension.
Okay.
Insurance and pension. And guys, they're both insurance products because a pension is insurance, right? So they're top 5 for insurance and pension. And we're still on Aegon. I'm quizzing y'all tonight because y'all gonna be doing this presentation. So, who is Transamerica? Like, where did they come from? Like, where are they based? Who is Transamerica?
Our parent company in San Francisco. They were acquired by Aegon.
Absolutely. Good job. Now, how long has Transamerica been around?
100 years. Over 100 years. 120 years?
Over 100 years. 120 to be exact. 120, right? But it's over 100 years. So are these stable, reputable, strong financial companies?
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Transamerica over 100 years. Aegon close to 200 years. Like, come on. Where the scamming at? For the people that love to say, is this a scam? Bro, you were not even born when this company existed and you thriving. Okay? So your little $5 and $10, go sit down somewhere. Okay, moving along.
They'll be solvent.
Huh?
They'll be solvent. They'll be solvent for the next 1,000 years.
There you go.
Financial Group.
Yes.
Working for God.
Woo!
That's
Working
another
for, awesome. Now, World Financial Group, it says right here, all you gotta do is read and click. Distribution platform. What are we distributing? Are we distributing money? We distributing food? What are we distributing?
Financial
financial
products.
services.
Financial services, financial education. Yes. Right? So World Financial Group is the financial distribution platform. We distribute financial knowledge, financial education, and financial products. And these are some of our core values. I mean, you will hear every speaker at every convention talk about God, talk about faith, and this is why I love this business. God is at the beginning. This business was founded on principle of faith. Our founder, Rich Talley, when he founded this business, he had no idea we were going to be in it. He had no idea. Johnny wasn't even born. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, there's people that are not even born are going to come into your business. There's people that are not even born are going to come into your business. Yeah? Because Rich Talley did it. When he founded his business, Johnny wasn't born. I wasn't even born either. Right? That's how long ago. And Rich Talley's in his 70s. Right? And we believe in family. Right? We want your family to be in the business. We want you to have your brother, your sister, your cousin, your auntie. This is a family business. Unlike a job, where they don't really encourage you to bring a family member at your job. Right? Here, we want you to bring your family. We want you to bring your family on board. Right? And then we believe in ownership. You can't own a job, but you can own the business. Right? You can own your business. You cannot own a job. When you die, your job dies. In fact, before you die, your job could die because you could be fired. But here, you own a business. And speaking of family and how amazing this business is, I'm going to show you guys a picture of Coach Swan. Coach Swan, who is one of the biggest builder in the company, makes, can somebody guess how much money he makes per year? This little Japanese man. Oh,
20
Vietnam.
million.
Donna, you weren't supposed to say it because you knew it. Okay. But how much does he make?
20 million.
Guys, would any job ever even show you how to make 1 million? I just want to know. Would a job ever even show you how to make 1 million? Would they even think how to make that it's even possible to make $1 million, to earn $1 million a year?
No, because if they do, you wouldn't work for them anymore.
Yeah. And then look, think about it. Like, the people who already retired at your job, how did they do? Did they retire with $1 million and $2 million and $3 million and living a fabulous retirement life? No. So when we look around, what else is better? And I talk about family, right? Guess what? Little baby Nathan, which is the second baby for Coach Swan, who makes 20 million. Now, how much you think this little boy that's not even 1 month old, how much you think is his net worth if his grandpa, Coach Swan, makes 20 million a year in WFG, not counting everything else he owns, just making, earning 20 million a year. 20 million a year earning cash. Not counting all his other investments, his other assets, and everything else besides what he's earning. How much do you think this little boy net worth is? And he's not even a month old. Just take a guess. 1 million, 5 million? How much?
Say 5 million or 10.
Many of millions.
Do you think he was born a millionaire and there's money already waiting for him? Do you think he got an IUL or a term? Do you think he got an IUL or a term?
IUL.
Which one you think he got? Which one you think he got?
IUL. All
Done.
the way.
All the way. Like Coach Swan will never put a term on his newborn grandbaby. Why? In 30 years, when he's 30, he has no cash? No. No. In 30 years, he has no cash? When in 30 years, he could have 30 million? No. Right? So when we talk about family, Coach Swan, his 3 kids grew up in the business. This is why you got to come to convention. Because it stretches your belief. You learn more. You learn about people's family. You learn about things. Going to convention, this is where I learned, wow, you could have multiple IUL? Because I saw all these people who were going up on stage talking about, I got 5 IUL, I got 10 IUL, I'm like, why do you need more than one? I learned at a convention. This is why you got to come to convention. You don't even have to be doing the business to come to convention. Come and get exposed to knowledge and stretch your vision. So we talk about family. His kids was in this business when they were little. They didn't even know what's going on. They would come to convention. The mom talk about, she would put them in a corner to have them fold brochures, help sign people in, like give them little things at their age to do. They grew up in this business. And that little baby boy that I just showed you, Alicia, is going to be taking over the helm one day because Coach is 76 years old. Right? So family, family, family. And of course ownership. And we believe in dreaming. That's why you got to come to convention. Because when you come to convention, things that you never thought, you come there and your vision is stretched and now you dream bigger. Right? Integrity. We do things right. We don't cheat the system. Leadership. I just showed you people who are winning and making multiple millions. These are the people who are leading us. And teamwork. When you win, I win. The team for the convention was win as one. When you win, I win. And then recognition. All those people you see parading the stage, they did something and they're being recognized. So these are our core values, right? And what do we do? Well, all you got to do is just point and read. 68% of Americans are not on track to retire. Do you think this is true? Do you think we just made up these numbers? No. 60% of Americans get diagnosed with an illness, leading cause, financial stress. I read an article that says everybody got something in their body that's going to kill us. But stress is what activates it. We all got something, because we all going to die someday. We just don't know what it is going to be. But there's something. And stress activates it. Man, when I read that article, I'm like, I don't want nobody stressing me. I don't want nothing to stress me. I don't want no stressor. Like, if I read something that's going to upset me, I'm like, delete it. I'm not even answering. I'm not even having it a back and forth. I don't want no stress. I don't want nothing to activate nothing, okay? And the leading stress is financial stress. That's because people don't understand how money works. They don't know how to build a solid financial foundation. They think they have a lot of money, but that will get wiped out with health, right? 64% are living paycheck to paycheck. Why? We only have one source of income. We spend too much. And I know we spend a lot. We spend more than we make. We don't save enough, and we're saving in the wrong buckets. Can somebody tell me what is the wrong bucket? What is considered the wrong bucket? Well, number one, we're not saving enough. That's like, we can't even argue that. We're not making enough, we're not saving enough. And the little we're saving is in the wrong bucket. What is considered the wrong bucket? What are some vehicles that are considered the wrong bucket? Are not the best? Let me say
best
to
the
come
bank.
to the bank.
Yeah.
Why the bank? Which is true, that's correct, but why do we say so?
Fixed.
Because the interest is really next to nothing.
It's nothing. And if you know
Point
rule of
zero
70,
one.
and if you know rule of 72, is it ever going to double in your lifetime? If you're getting 0.0 something, or let's say 1%, is that going to double in your lifetime? No.
Never.
And even if it doubles, like everything is so expensive that by the time it doubles, it's still not going to be worth anything, right? So we have to make more money, people. We have to make more money. I tell everybody, I don't care if you want to sell some 99-cent lip gloss, you want to sell some weed, like get something that's going to bring you extra income. And then 84% of people are just going to work because it's a paycheck, because they have to work. 84% of people want to work somewhere where their work matters, right? When I was working in the corporate hotel, I was just telling somebody today, I was praying. As much as I had a six-figure job and I was zooming and flying all over the country, going to different parts of Europe and like all over the world, like it was great, it was good, it was great, but the work wasn't really matter to me. Like even though it was great, like I was still searching. I was still searching. I was still searching for something more meaningful that would give me freedom, flexibility, and more money. Freedom, flexibility, and more money. Right? So, our mission and vision is to financially educate everyone. Our vision is to empower people to become entrepreneur and take ownership and control your life. So, all of us are going to fall into one of these four quadrants. If you're an employee, it just means you got a job and you're trading your time for money. If you're self-employed, you're the barber, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, and if you don't see clients, meaning you trade your time and go to court and argue, or see a patient and give them a prescription, you don't make no money. You're trading your time for money. Unless you own the clinic, unless you own the practice, if you don't show up, you're still going to make money. But self-employed, you could be the doctor and you're alone seeing patients. So if you don't work one day, your time, you don't make money. So, where do you want to be? Right? Most people are on this side of the fence. And if you're in WFG, you're on this side of the fence. You're a business owner with a system. And the system is the more people we work with, the more money we make. Because WFG has a system. And WFG, you're learning about finance, so now you become a smart investor because you know exactly where to put your $1 to get $2. Because you understand tax advantage account, you understand index account, you understand the rule of 72, you understand compound interest, you understand risk, right? So you know what to do with your money. Now you're a smart investor. So if you're in WG, you are already set up to win because you're on this side of the fence. You're a business owner with a system, and you know the strategies and the accounts that's going to make you more money with your little money. But if you're putting it in the bank, it's not going to double. And if you're putting it in the stock market, it's like you're just gambling. You're really gambling. It could go up, but it could go down. I don't want to be 65 and all my money is like 40% gone in the stock market because now I'm going to like go crazy because I may have to go work longer. Right? I don't want that. And guess what? It's happening, people. People have not made the best decisions when it comes to their money. I didn't say it. I read it. I didn't say it. I read it. It's all over the internet. You just got to find the articles and read it yourself. There's a phenomenal article because I know I saved it this time around to share it tonight.
Squatters.
Silver squatters. Donna, you're a good student. Look at you. Yes, silver squatters, right? So, guys, it's happening. You may not know about it, but it's happening, right? So like all the things we're teaching people is to help them not get into this predicament because it's not going to get better or easier in the future. It's happening right now. The only way it's going to change is if you know what to do today, right? So here's an article, July 11, 2024, right? Silver squatters, 55-year-old, will need more retirement help. And if you read this entire article, it some of the things I just talked about. We did not save enough, and we saved in not the best buckets. And so now these people are having to shack up. Either now they become the kids in their kids' basement, or they're renting a room in another senior citizen who thankfully had a home and they paid off their mortgage, but they're still at the mercy of paying other things and they can't afford it, so they're renting out a room in their own house to another senior citizen. Because the other senior citizen who probably didn't buy a house or they rented all their life and their rent keep going up, and then the other set of them, it tells you right here, right here. Being a silver squatter means relying on family for housing and financial support. For example, when the parent moves into the adult kid's basement. So the roles are reversed now, right? When you were little, you living in your kid basement for free. Now it's the reverse. If they have successful kids and the kids got a home, now they're squatted out. They're silver squatters. They're living in the basement because they can't afford to go live on their own. And the ones who did have a house and probably still got a mortgage or don't have a mortgage, well, they're still scrambling. So they're renting out rooms. Guys, can you imagine? Like, I've never lived with nobody. And I can't imagine being in my 60s, 70s, and 80s and now have to live with a stranger just because I need financial help. Right? So it's happening right now, guys. This article was July. We're all in July. So, FAQs. Odetta, this business sounds great. You guys are doing phenomenal work. I love that you preach faith. I love that it's family oriented. I love that there's a lot of leadership and there's a lot of millionaire and billionaires, mentors that we can learn from, the education. But how much is it going to cost me to do this business? Well, the first thing it's going to cost you is $125, and it's not a cost. It's a business investment. $125 to register your business. That takes care of your background check, setting up your WFG agency portal. The next thing it's going to do is you want to get on the Excel platform. That's $30 to start studying for your license. Once you study for the license and you're ready, you have to schedule your state exam. That's about another $40. You pass the state exam, now is when the other fees are going to come in because you got to print your license, you got to do your fingerprint, and you got to register your license. So in total, and I'd say approximately, because we have people from all over the country, it's anywhere between $500 to $800. Some states' fees are higher than some. We have no control over that. This is not WFG money. This is state regulated fees for the government to give you your license. So I go back again when people say, well, is this a scam? Is this a pyramid? Well, if it is, the government's scamming all of us. Because the government is mandating us to have a license, and the government is the one that's processing your license. And the government is the one that's doing your background and your fingerprint. And by the way, we have FBI agents in WFG. Okay? And lawyers in WFG. Okay? Good. So, how much time is it going to take, Odetta? Well, it's a business. You could put in little or you could put in a lot. You put in little, you reap little. You put in a lot, you get a lot. Right? But on average, 10 to 15 hours per week. It is what you make it. It's a business. It's not a job. right? It's a business. Is there a need? I just showed you an article, right? The needs are right here. Look at these percentages. It's over half. Of course there is a need for financial education. You think my dean knows this stuff? You think all these people at my job knows this stuff? If they did, they wouldn't be like hawking their 401k and 403b. They wouldn't be putting 20% in their 401k and 403b because they don't know how much you're going to have to pay in taxes. They don't know how much you're going to lose to the stock market. They're just gambling. They don't know. There's nothing certain about the stock market. But they're doing it. I didn't sign up for no pension. I didn't sign up for no 403b. My 401k that I had when I was in corporate America, because I was one of those people, I was stacking it up. And once I come onto WG and I learned this stuff, I roll my money out. I roll my money out. I don't have a 401k, and I will never have a 401k. I don't have a 403b, because you know better, right? And then what about knowledge of that? Well, I don't know anything about money. I got a lot of debt. I'm not good at managing my own money. I never liked math. You ain't gotta know none of that. I never went to finance school. You're gonna learn all of that here. You're gonna get exposed. You're gonna learn it. You have tons of stuff you need to learn about finance to get the knowledge. And is there any risk? Well, the only risk is you not taking this opportunity, and you're gonna stay broke. You're gonna stay right where you are, and you will never ever say some of the things that we hear these speakers say. They can all say it, and this is why they all give glory to God, because they know if it wasn't for this opportunity, there's no way they could be saying the things that they've accomplished being in WFG. And they all come from great background. Engineers, doctors, lawyers, nurses. You think they would have made these type of money at the hospital? You think Dr. Fumble would have made $8 million in 4 years at the hospital? You think Dr. Martin Fuende would have made $4 million in 2 years at the hospital? No way. Okay? No way, right? So the only risk is you not taking a risk on yourself. Because you're the one. You heard what one of the speakers said. He is the last poor person in his bloodline. It stopped with him. It stopped with him. Pastor Chinny said it. He is the last poor person. It stopped with him. The curse got broken. He was the last. It stopped. From here on, nothing but wealth. And he's already done it. He put $1 million IUL in each one of his kids and family, his wife and himself. They already saved up $1 million, and they're making millions just in cash flow in WG. The buck stopped with him. Where else could he have done that as a pastor, a black pastor? Where else could he have done that, right? So, there's money in this business. Guys, we just had 40,000 people. We can't be fooling 40,000 people. We can't be fooling all these top people. Like, there's no way you could fool 40,000 people, right? So let's get that clear. So what do? We help people with their money, and we help people save their money in smart vehicles. Somebody saving $500, that's $6,000 a year, depending on your contract level. If you're a trainee associate, you're at the bottom, and you don't want to stay here. You didn't come to WG to be at the bottom. You want to move all the way up to a senior marketing director. Yeah. You don't want to stay here. But we all start here. All of those guys on the stage, they all started here. It's a proven system. There's no skipping. There's no cheating. And I'm friend with Rich Dolly. He's going to promote me all the way to SMB. No. Everything is in the computer. There's a system here. To move up, you got to go through the chain of command. The system, right? You'll know how we move up. But you're a trainee. You could be an associate. You could be a marketing director. This is a junior broker. And then you're a senior marketing director. Now, when you move up to senior marketing director, this is where it gets really good. This is where everybody should aspire to be. Because everything unlocks here. As a senior marketing director, you own your book of business. So if I drop dead today, all 5,000 of my clients, the money is still going to keep rolling. If I leave WFG today and I say, you know what, I want to go work with another company, I don't know why I would say that, but I'm just saying. Because I have friends who left WFG and they went to work with other companies and they still have access to their My WFG and they're still getting checks from all the clients they had with WFG. But if you do this as a marketing director, you ain't got nothing to get. You will be terminated. Your code is discount. Your code is out the system, and everything you did, you ain't got nothing to get. All of your clients are WFG clients. You decide you no longer want to be in WFG, you're gonna get a nice termination letter, and all the companies will de-appoint you, and all of your clients is gonna roll up to the SMD. That is moi, right? That is moi. So you don't want to stay as a marketing director. You want to work your way up to senior marketing director where now you own your book of business. We talk about having that freedom. We talk about having that ownership. So this is why you'll always see SMDs working harder because not only today we're eating, we're going to keep eating forever. Right? Because you get residual. All of your clients, every year you get residual. Right? And also as an SMD, this is where you get company bonus. This is where you get stock options. You're not going to get it as a training associate, or marketing director. But these are all levels that you have to go through. So again, it's how much you want to put in. You want to put in a lot, you get a lot. You want to put in little, you get little. The choice is yours. Some people come here, they just want to make 2,000, 3,000. Some people come here, they want to poke a hole in the sky like me, right? So it's all up to you how much you want to put in or how much you don't want to put in. The choice is yours. But let's say you work your way up to a senior marketing director, which is doable with the new system that we have now. Guys, when I joined this business 7 years ago, for me to be promoted to marketing director, I had to get 5 licenses and 40,000 points. 5 licenses. Today, you only need 2 licenses. So we had to work harder to get to these stages. To become an SMD, back then, I had to get 10 licenses, plus maybe like 80,000 points. It took us longer to hit these milestones, years. With today's system, you could be an SMD in 6 to 9 months. It took me like 3 years to become an SMD. The system was much harder then. So anybody coming into this business today, it's night and day compared to when I started. There's leaps and bounds. Plus, everything is virtual today. Back then, we had to go to offices. But I'm not complaining. I love it. I enjoy the journey, right? So as a senior marketing director, let's say you help a client save 1,000. And that could be 4 people saving $250 a piece. That could be 5 people saving $200 a piece. Or that could be 2 clients, maybe 2 nurse clients saving $500 each. $1,000. As an SMD, you make $10,000 personal. Now, if you have 5 agents, because you are an SMD, which means minimum you gotta have 10. But let's say out of the 10, 5 of them also do the same thing. Now you get what we call spread or compensation. Right? This is a spread. 21,000. So you made money from the team, and you have your own personal. 31,000 per month. You do that every month, 372 per year. And the freedom. Now 372 in WFG per year versus 372 as a W2. Can somebody tell me what is the difference? Earning 372 in WFG and earning 372 as a job employee, what is the difference?
You'll be taxed differently.
Oh, hell yeah. So you might make 372, but you didn't bring home 372. You're definitely going to be taxed different. What else would happen with the job? Can you write off anything from this 372?
No, you can't. That's for the
Yes.
taxes. You can't not with a
Mortgages
job.
is expenses.
Right. You can't write off anything pretty much unless it's like a job. Because even if your job send you on a business trip, you can't write that off. Because when I was in corporate America, they had me flying all over the country or the world to go visit, these hotels. I couldn't write off that. It was an expense report, and the company would pay me back for my car, my meals, my whatever. But I can't write that off. It's an expense report, and the company is probably going to write it off, but I can't write it off. I'm just going to turn in my expense report at the end of the month and say, okay, well, sometimes they give me a budget, and if I have to spend my own cash, I do an expense report, and I say, hey, I bought XYZ, and maybe I took a client to lunch, and here's the receipt for the dinner, and they would reimburse me the money. But I can't write that off. Now with WFG, I just came back from convention. Like everything is a write-off. Everything is a write-off, right? But what else is going to happen here? Am I working harder for this 372 as a job employee versus with WFG? Which one do you think?
Working hard as an employee.
Yeah. Because guys, let me bring you back to as an associate. 2,700 on average. Sitting with a client as an associate, to some person saving 500 on a Zoom, or even if it's in person, but most of the stuff we do on Zoom, it's probably going to take you maybe 3 hours doing a presentation, doing an illustration, finalize it, maybe 3 hours tops. You make 2,700. Would I ever make 2,700 in 3 hours? Realistically, at a job? Very unlikely. I mean, I'm sure there is, but it's very unlikely. Not the average everyday job, right? So, yes, you're going to be working more. You're putting in more hours for a lesser dollar amount. Whereas here, this 3 hours, I could be in my PJs and just have on a blazer on a Sunday afternoon, or whatever time I set my schedule, whatever time I said, hey, I'm available to meet you. So I have control, I have flexibility. Whereas a job, I got to show up 9 to 5, 8 to 4, whatever is my work schedule. Here, I can control my schedule based on my booking calendar. Right? So, life is all about choices. What are going to be your choices? You decide you want to be a business partner, get started with us, or you're like, but I don't know, I don't think I want to do a business, I'm good. Okay, whatever you say. So, let's schedule a one-on-one and show you how you could win the money game. Because I know you got a 401k and you're probably maxing it out. And I know you got money in a CD or the bank earning like 1%. And I know you don't have no living benefit. And I know you have a life insurance, but it's not an index. So let's hook you up, right? So you don't end up being a silver squatter. Or you could be both, like me. Come on board, learn this information, help yourself, and help others. So which will it be? Tell me, which will it be? What do you want? And that concludes our business presentation. Voila! Just like that.
Thank you.
So, do you guys think this is easy? This is hard? Worst case scenario, you're just pointing, reading, and clicking, and you can add your stories, you can add your testimony, you could listen, in the beginning, I didn't have my own stories. Nobody has their own stories in the beginning. So you mention other people's stories. You talk about pastor whoever. You talk about nurse whoever. You talk about coach whoever. You talk about Johnny who started this business who was just 18-year-old and his dad told him he wasted his entire life. Now if you talk to his dad today, his dad's going to tell you, I'm glad my son didn't listen to me. If you talk to his mom, she's going to tell you how many times Johnny came home crying, but she encouraged him, don't give up, son. If this is what you want to do, go back out there. Yeah. So, I love this business, and my flag is planted. Nothing else can move me. You're doing good. You're learning. you're helping families. It's a win-win either way. If you're selfish and you just want to help yourself, that's fine. You want to bless other people, you share it with other people. Some will say yes, some will say no, some will say maybe. But if you stay in this business long enough, the no's will turn to yes. So you gotta stay in it long enough. Because I've had people who told me no in the beginning, and now they said yes. And they said a resounding yes, not just yes for them, but yes for their family, and they're referring me to others. But you gotta stay in it long enough. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, right? This is helping people. If you're servant-oriented, you like helping people, this is the business for you. If you don't want to help people, go away, it's fine, you know? Just take whatever you can, right? So with that being said, it's now 8:44. We have our team meeting for all licensed partners. I will see you guys back in 15 minutes on our team